If you don't like getting up in front of, let's say, well, anybody to give a presentation, or you've got somebody else who's going to be giving it for you, but who doesn't know the details enough to do it justice, I recommend doing a pre-recorded slideshow. And if you want to include your voice in the recording, then make sure you got a microphone hooked up to your computer. And then when you're ready, come up here, click on the Slideshow tab, go to the Setup group, and there you go, Record Slideshow. You can either click on the button to begin recording from the current slide, which is what I have selected over here. The current slide is slide 1, so it'll begin there, or you can click on the drop-down arrow, get the same option from the current slide or from the beginning. So if I'm on slide like 5 and I click from the beginning, well, it goes to the start and records from the beginning. Let me go ahead and click off. Now when I'm ready, since I already have slide 1 selected, and that's the first slide in the presentation, I can just go ahead and click on record from the current slide, click on it, and in the pop-up it says select what you want to record before you begin recording. Now by default it's going to include like slide and animation timings. What that means is that as you advance from one slide to the next, when you get to the second slide, it's going to keep track of how much time you spent on the first slide and save it. So if it's 5 seconds, it'll save it there, then maybe 10 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Then at the end, it'll save it all, so when you want to play it back, it's great because it'll advance automatically for us. So when somebody else is giving the presentation, because I can't be there, it'll have my voice and it'll automatically advance through it, so they don't have to sit there and wait till I'm done speaking and try to figure out if I just took a long, deep pause in my recordings and click and miss over the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, include the slide and animation timings. And then if I include any like laser pointer, ink, narrations in my presentation, with it checked, it'll be recorded. If I uncheck it, well, it's not going to be there, but I'll check it. And then when I'm ready and I click on start recording, in the upper left-hand corner, we're going to have 2 timers. The first timer is the amount of time that I'm spending on that slide through the presentation. Like if I'm on slide 3, and I just got there, it'll be, well, 0 seconds, then advance to 1, 2, 3, 4. The second timer is the total amount of time up until that point. So if I had 10 seconds on slide 1, 5 seconds on slide 2, the second timer will have a total of, well, these two, 15 seconds. Well, let me show you. Click on start recording, and in the upper left-hand corner, the first timer is the amount of time on this slide, and then the second timer is overall. Let me go ahead and click to advance to the next slide. That continues the second timer, as opposed to the first timer, which is the amount of time on this slide. Click to advance, and let me hold down the control key and click, and there's my laser annotation. It should record that. And then click to advance, and then if I'm going through this one, going, okay, this is where we've been, this is where, oh, I messed up. Okay, I have to re-record the whole thing. No, what you can do for this slide only, if you've gotten it right on all the previous slides, is to come up here and click on the repeat arrow. When I click on it, that will zero out and go back to the beginning. And then this will go back to, well, the total amount of time before I got to this slide. So it's 42, click on repeat, and it goes back to 19, and then that's back to 0. And it's also paused, thank goodness. So I can get it right. Okay, this is where we've been, this is where we are, and this is where we want to go. So go ahead and click on resume. This is where we've been, this is where we go. And then we can go ahead and click on repeat and then start over again and keep doing it and doing it. And now, keep in mind that when you do this, there's a second lag in this, so I don't want to jump right into it when I resume recording. Give yourself a second and then start talking. And then before you advance to the next slide, which by the way, you can come up here and click on next, make sure that you're done talking before you click next for about a second or two, because it will cut you off. It's like I said, there's a bit of a lag. So click on next, and we'll do 1 second, and 1 second. And there we go, we're done. How do you know? Well, first of all, you can see at the bottom right-hand corner of my slides, you've got the audio for each slide. You know, go to slide 2, and there's the audio. So I can go ahead and hover over it, brings up the audio bar, click on play. That's the next slide. That continues the second timer. Oh, that's nice. Okay, now to find the timings, or to see them, let's go ahead and go to the slide sorter view. Down on the status bar, click on slide sorter. And there you go. You got the speaker there, but you also have the timing down below. So the total amount of time in this slide is 6 seconds. Then we go to the next slide for 7, 7, 17, 3. Okay. So all I have to do is go ahead and give this to my buddy. He can go and fly somewhere around the world and set this up, and then just come up here and click on from the beginning. Upper left-hand corner, the first timer is the amount of time on this slide. Now you can hear my voice talking. Overall. Let me go ahead. See how it kind of cut me off there? Yeah, you got to be careful. Give it an extra second before you advance to the next slide and start talking. And you stop talking. Oh, it recorded the laser. Great.
Give yourself a second and then start talking. And then before you advance to the next slide, which by the way, you can come up here and click on next, make sure that you're done talking before you click next for about a second or two, because it will cut you off. It's like I said, there's a bit of a lag. So
yeah,
we'll do 1 second.
Cut me off there. Oh, that's horrifying.
1 second.
So you may have to re-record if you're like me and you get excited about talking during the presentation and forget to have those lag times. Okay, if you want to be able to clear some of this out, you can, well, come up here on the Slideshow tab, go to the Setup group, click on Record Slideshow, and you can go to Clear. You can clear the timing or the narration or both. So you want to do it for all slides, the timings. So there's 6 seconds, 7 seconds, clear it on all slides. Now when I do that, it still has my voice recorded on each slide because you can see the speakers there. So when I begin the slideshow from the beginning, if I don't have the timing,
the first timer is the amount of time on this slide, and then the second timer is overall. I go ahead and click.
See, there's the end of the recording. So whoever's giving the presentation for me is like, is he done? Is he taking an abated breath? And then click next to go to the next one. And then it picks up with the audio for that. Let me hit the escape key on the keyboard. So what you may want to do is, well, if you want to go ahead and add timings again, you'll have to select it and then come up, go to the Transitions tab, and go ahead and deselect on mouse click, and then, guess how much time I spent on that slide. Because, if I only took 5 seconds and there's an extra 3 seconds, so that's horrifying. In any case, let's undo. Undo, 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 undo. And then we're back here, so we'll leave those up. You can also, let's go back to the Slideshow tab and record slideshow drop-down arrow. Also clear out the narrations on the current slide. Let's do all slides. So the speakers go, and let me go ahead and with slide 3 selected, let's come up here from the current slide, click on it. It just has the timing. It doesn't have my voice recorded in the background, and also doesn't have the laser pointer. It's part of the narration. And hit the escape key to end the show.
Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.